Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I can see we've had absolutely no success in finding people who have things in common and interests to discuss. Hi, I'm Jane Wales, and welcome to the Global Philanthropy Forum. Each year, at least a third of the philanthropists present are new to the Global Philanthropy Forum. So let me just say a quick word about us. We're a learning community. We're strategic. We're engaged. We care about results. We come together each year so that we can learn from each other. People come prepared both to teach and to learn so that we can be both more effective in our giving but also more effective in our investing, because we define philanthropy broadly to mean all means of financing social change. So for the next 3 days, we're going to be talking together about opportunities that exist for philanthropists and those they support to advance human rights, human security, and our shared responsibility to protect. We'll focus a lot on violent conflict. We'll focus on its causes and its means of prevention and resolution, and consider ways to strengthen non-governmental actors in societies around the world so that they've got the strength to prevent crises, but also so they've got the resilience to rebound from crises should they occur. And we're always operate on the in the Global Philanthropy Forum on the assumption that these kinds of tasks require all three sectors, that they require both the governmental sector, the public sector, they require the private sector, and they require the philanthropic sector as well. We're going to start by hearing from a truly great man, and then we'll have a quick conversation, because he's not feeling well today, that's going to be grounded in specific crises that reveal some of the ways in which conflict comes to occur, some of the ways in which it can be prevented, and some of the ways in which one can reconcile, can build peace based on reconciliation post-conflict. And the reason we're going to focus heavily on reconciliation is that, of course, the most likely future conflict is a conflict that's recurring. Lightning does indeed strike twice when it comes to conflict, when core issues that are at their source are not resolved, and when resentments are fueled, and of course when political leaders find it in their interest to exploit the politics of small differences. We're going to introduce you to fellow donors. We'll introduce you to foundation executives who've got strategies to share. We'll introduce you to emblematic agents of change from around the world. And of course, what we're going to provide is a no fundraising zone so that you can think aloud, try on new ideas for size, and learn from one another. So we do that for two reasons, as many of you know. The first is so that donors have that kind of freedom, but the second is so that we can suspend the grantor-grantee relationship for at least 3 days, if not beyond, and so that you will interact with one another as the experts that you all are. 80% of the participants in last year's conference have told us, a little over 80%, that they've relied on one another as kind of an informal brain trust as they have developed their strategies for giving and investing over the year. And I hope the same will happen to you, that you will have that opportunity. But that is why we're asking you to share your experiences. That's why we're asking you to teach one another. And we're going to try to help that, to help if there are conversations that are begun but remain unfinished. On the back of your name tags, you will see that we've created something called GPF Connect that allows you to quickly email one another so you can find one another just during these 3 days. It was a way to protect your email address, your privacy, but allow you, if you opt in to the system, to find one another. I should also note that in our effort to be green, we are treating this as a paperless conference to the extent possible. And so we're providing you with a bank of computers outside so that you can just go up when you hear a panel that's of particular interest. You can go online, you can click on that panel and learn a lot more about that speaker and what that speaker does, and learn about others in the field. Because this is a conversation between elders and emerging leaders, we're going to ask that during the day today that you make a point of sitting next to someone of another generation, and that you ask yourself, but I thought I was of the younger generation, that everyone is saying. I'm going to ask that as you get to know each other and get to know each other's work, now that we've all discovered we're 21, or at least announced as such, that you ask yourself, that were you to put into one sentence or two the impact or the potential impact you believe that other person can have, that you may find that you truly have a reason to admire, that you have work to emulate, and that you have a lot of reason for hope about our world because of the power of an individual to make a difference and the commitment of an individual to do the same. So when we talk about elders, we talk about elders in two senses of the word. One is longevity, but the other is wisdom. And our first speaker is blessed, of course, with both, plus an extraordinary capacity to give. Archbishop Tutu demonstrates the goodness in us all. For those of you who wonder whether you match up on the goodness scale, something I ask myself with some regularity, and I don't get a consistent answer, I'm sorry to say. I just want to share with you something he said to me yesterday that makes me feel considerably better and might make you feel better as well. He said that when you get to heaven, you may be surprised by who you meet. God has a soft spot for sinners. In fact, God has very low standards indeed. So please join me in welcoming, with a sore throat, Archbishop Desmond Tutu.
Thank you very much. Thank you.